Hi guys, Bradley Sunderland here, back here from Sunder's Sounds with yet another Where Do I Start? Today I'm focusing on one of the biggest bands in rock history. Most of their songs everybody knows, time and time again. We hear them on the radio, we hear them in movies, we hear things like that. But where do we go beyond that? You know, from the gut warbling immigrant song. Sorry. From that all the way over to you know, like things like Stairway to Heaven. It's on the playlist. It's not in the list. But from that, where do we go from there? Where do we go from where we've heard on the radio about the magnificent, the splendiferous Led Zeppelin? Here is my little playlist for you guys. If you're brand new to Led Zeppelin, all you've heard is those songs in movies and on the radio, you need to listen to this soundtrack, this little playlist that I've put together. You need to listen to this, because it's going to give you... there's a couple of songs in here that most people would know if they've come across Led Zeppelin before, but some of these pretty deep album tracks, I've tried to stick with those, you know, and keep it for you. So this is my compilation for you guys about songs that you probably would not have heard of before from a band that is very close to my heart. Okay, so I'm going to kick off with number one, and that is What Is and What Should Never Be, off the album Led Zeppelin 2. Now, basically, it perfectly showcases, in one song, it perfectly showcases exactly like the two sides of Led Zeppelin. Because there are two sides to Led Zeppelin. There's the heavy rocking, bluesy, riffy side, and then there's the melodic, beautiful side as well. And this shows those off absolutely perfectly. It's got melodic, atmospheric verses, and then just this chorus that kicks into top gear with like Jimmy Page's guitar solo, following the same pattern, just the slide guitar in it as well. It is a beautiful song from start to finish. I can't recommend it enough. Moving on from that though, track number 2, Gallows Pole, from Led Zepp 3, and acoustic, almost around a campfire, sort of throwing mandolins into the mix as well, and slowly building, you know, and then Bonham just comes in like a southbound freight train, and Robert Plant's voice, when it starts, is sort of quite pure with this song, and it becomes more manic with the pace of the song as well. It is absolutely phenomenal. Again, you'll be able to check out this playlist. I'll leave a link in the description below as well. Moving on from that, we go a few albums later now, but onto an album called Houses of the Holy, and a song called No Quarter. Now this song is very strange. It's got like a boom boom ba 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 boom boom ba boom 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 ba 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 boom ba 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 do do. It's incredible. It's got a really desolate beginning. It sounds eerie and lost and empty, and it just builds into this Jimmy Page riff, which is, you know, absolutely so amazing. It is so good. And then Robert Plant's vocals come in. It's just got this haunting, echoey quality to it. There's almost an element of fear in his voice as well, and it always puts me in mind of like a very Nordic atmosphere. There's like, I can just imagine like a troop of Vikings struggling through the snow in desperation to deliver the message and get where they need to get to. It's a fantastic song, and it definitely takes you on a journey. Moving on from there, we go back in an album now to Physical Graffiti. Probably one of my favourite albums. It's actually a double album, so I've done you guys a favour and picked one off of each side of that album, because it is a double album. First one I've picked off of Physical Graffiti is The Rover. It's just an epic track. Jimmy Page with a fairly simple riff, but he just puts these small finishing touches on it that really gives it the difference that it needs, and they're really a testament to his brilliance, to be fair. And just a solo that breaks the whole track down. Just it doesn't necessarily slow down, but it makes you put your head back and groove with it. It's got such a great groove. But the Rover, absolutely fantastic. Then number 5, again off of Physical Graffiti, but the second side of the album. Now this was really, really tough to pick, because there's so many great songs on both sides of that album, to be fair. Like In My Time of Dying is an amazing tune. As I say, all these, just these 10 song lists out of bands that have got such an amazing back catalogue is always difficult for me to put together. But I take the time, I definitely think about the decisions to make, because the next one I've gone with is Wonton Song. The reason being is because it has a bit of everything that Led Zeppelin is about. John Bonham's drumming is just superb in this song. Jimmy Page is so good. Bam 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 bam. It does this weird like whoosh thing, and it gets back in again. It's absolutely amazing. You've got Robert Plant's got his really bluesy vocals going on there, giving it everything that he's got, and it's just, the ending is just so heavy. You'd probably expect it to see it like heavy metal shows now. Just that few ending bars there. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm going into songs now, and this is dangerous territory for me, because my favourite Led Zeppelin album ever, it is cliche as you like, but it is Led Zeppelin 4. It's Led Zeppelin 4. I can't help it. I personally think it's a masterpiece, and I've avoided the obvious, guys. Okay, I've avoided the obvious, but I've picked Battle of Evermore off of there, and it's probably one of my favourite Led Zeppelin songs. Okay, I can't drive through the countryside on a sunny evening with the birds just twittering as you're driving through. There's just fields on either side. The sun is setting. It's sort of gone an orangey, bluey colour. It's all a bit hazy. And you put this on, and it's just got such like Tolkien-esque lyrics to it as well, and the pure mandolin sound that's in there, and it just shows the more genteel side of Led Zeppelin, of what are considered rock gods. This shows the more genteel side, and it's a wonderful, wonderful song, absolutely incredible. And then I'm taking you from that sort of more melodic journey, and then we're going to go back the other way. And number 7 on that list is Dazed and Confused from Led Zepp 1. And possibly one of Led Zeppelin's sort of darkest songs. All 4 members, they're just giving everything they have. From start to finish with this song, they are giving 110%. And it's more... there isn't a moment where the track sort of lets up on you. It does break down a bit in the middle, but it's still taking you through all very strange noises, and Robert Plant, and it's bringing you to, and then bang, Bonham just comes in with this huge beat, and Page follows on with a mighty as fuck solo. It is absolutely incredible, and just the beat that comes in after it's so fast, it's just incredible. But Dazed and Confused off of Led Zepp 1, definitely one of my favourites. And then I'm going to actually give Bonham a bit of time by himself. Now, a little bit of time by himself. Definitely not an underrated drummer by any stretch. He's still, I think, most drummers' favourite drummer. But with Bonham, I think he's not overshadowed as such. The most overshadowed member of Led Zeppelin, by the way, is John Paul Jones, the most musically technical and the most clever man probably in that band, admitted by probably most other members of that band. But John Bonham, what a drummer. So next, to showcase that, is Moby Dick from Led Zepp 2. Now, don't get me wrong, it starts off, it's Bonzo's time to shine, but there's a fantastic riff at the start. It is fantastic. And this song but it's all about Bonham. There is a drum solo in there that goes through so many different beats and rhythms and feels, and there's even drumming beats in there from sort of like African, I think it's sort of like an African scent to it. It's just fantastic, and it builds all the way up to the end, and it builds in, and bang comes the riff again. Fantastic song. Number 9, we're going to go forward now into an album called Presents. Yes, it's the weird one with the family sat around the table staring at that thing. Achilles' Last Stand. Absolutely unbelievable. A wonderful song. Again, thundering drums, but when is it never thundering drums from Bonham? And the middle section, it definitely feels like some sort of march into battle. It's like, you know, everything's going in that middle section. And I love it. It really makes you feel like you're marching into battle, like there's something to fight for, like this is it, this is the last stand, you know. Brilliant. And going back now, track number 10, going back to Led Zepp 4, I feel has one of the best album finishes ever. It is When the Levee Breaks. Now, it's a complete powerhouse of a song, right from the start right up to the end. The perfect end to a perfect album and a perfect playlist. And it's just got haunting harmonics, harmonica, bombastic drumming, slide guitar tones that are just to die for, that could only be accomplished by Jimmy Page. And it's just absolutely fantastic, and it is absolutely wonderful, and off of one of my favourite albums as well, which is great. So I'm going to run through the list for you again, guys. Don't forget there is the link in the bottom to Spotify, so you can jump straight on this playlist and listen to it. But you've got What Is and What Should Never Be from Led Zepp 2, Gallows Pole from Led Zepp 3, No Quarter from Houses of the Holy, The Rover, from Physical Graffiti, and then the Wonton Song from Physical Graffiti as well, Battle of Evermore from Led Zepp 4, Dazed and Confused from Led Zepp 1, Moby Dick, Led Zepp 2, Achilles' Last Stand from Presents, and When the Levee Breaks from Led Zepp 4. Okay, okay, I've not included it on the list, but I don't think you can have a playlist without it. So, as a little bit of an extra for you guys, yes, I have put Stairway to Heaven at the end of the playlist, but there's no cheating. Don't skip to that track. Listen to this first, and then listen to Stairway to Heaven. Stairway is still one of my favourite songs of all time, by the way. But no cheating. Listen to this first, then Stairway to Heaven. But I have popped it in there for you because it's just not fair not to, is it? Let's face it. So it is there. But again, hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new to Led Zeppelin, I hope you found it informative. If you've been listening to this music for a long time, tell me what you would have put. Tell me what you would say would be a first look for people. What song should they listen to first? What have I missed out on it? So anywhere I can improve along the way. But yeah, if you like the video, you found it informative, there's going to be loads more coming up. I'm going to do one on Kate Bush. I will do one on The Who, The Rolling Stones, also Genesis as well. I'll be focusing on the early stuff, and absolutely fantastic. So if you enjoy it and you're looking forward to those extra videos as well, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you get updated with every time we post out a new video for you guys, because it's only going to just build your musical knowledge further. But apart from that, this has been Brad at Sunders Sounds. Peace out, mofos.